Hello and thanks for joining me. Well, last week's video was some woodworking, and this week's video is going to be a little more woodworking. Last week I built a set of drawers for Harold, and this week we're going to build a clamp rack. But first, before I get into the clamp rack, let me show you something Harold sent me. 6-inch caliper. This is really nice. I guess this is in exchange for the set of drawers. Brand new. Boy, that's nice. Thanks, Harold. Really unnecessary, but I really appreciate it. I needed that. Anyway, this clamp rack, I made a video, probably 3-4 years ago on a clamp rack system I built. Let me show it to you. There it is right there. Now there's two kinds of space in a shop that are at a premium. Floor space and wall space. And that takes up a lot of wall space. So I'm going to sacrifice some floor space for some wall space. I don't like that behind my Harding lathe. I want to be able to push my Harding lathe back toward the wall, and I want to be able to get to my clamps. So we're going to build a circular clamp rack. And I'm kind of designing as I go. We'll see. We'll see how it works. But essentially, that rack's about that long, so I can fit all the clamps on in a circular area about that big. Theoretically. We'll see. So you just saw me take a 1.25 inch spade bit and grind it down carefully so that it drilled a hole the same as this, I guess, 1.25 inch EMT conduit. And I'm going to make these discs like that to hold my clamps. Those slots are for the clamps right there. And I'm going to make them several different diameters, 20 inch, 18 inch. I got it all planned out. I've got some plywood here. I'm making use of scraps of plywood. Those are doweled together. So I'm going to cut all these into circles and stack them on this pipe and hang it from the ceiling, and it'll rotate and hold my racks, in theory anyway. I've got a few issues to work out, like how I'm going to lock these plywood discs to the conduit. So we'll see. First thing we're going to do though is start making these discs. I printed out a template. This is the smallest disc. This is 16 and the largest one is 20. I'm going to use this template for all of them though. Anyway, let's get started. Okay, there's a 15 1/2. Now I need a 17. Okay, like I said before, I've printed one template, the smallest template, and I'm going to cut these with the dado on my table saw, so I'll just transfer the lines like this. Well, I've got to cut that off right there in order to drill the hole in my drill press. And I need it to be square, so I want to drill it in the drill press. Okay, this is a prototype, proof of concept. Obviously I've got some problems here. Well, it works. I just kind of threw it together because I wanted to make sure it worked. But I'm going to modify it a little bit. I made it tapered so that the clamps would stay put better, like starting small to large. And it worked okay for the large, long ones, but not so good for these. So what I'm going to do is move this one up to about here, hang these clamps on it, use the top one for the small clamps, and remove this one, move this to the bottom and use this for the upper. Anyway, I got a plan. I don't know if any of that made sense, but I'm going to make it 3-tier instead of 2, and I'm going to eliminate this bottom disc. When you put something like this in the chuck and then you flip it over, it's hard to, well, this one's fairly easy, it's thick enough, but a little bit thinner, it's hard to make sure you got it straight. But I cut a couple of grooves, 3 grooves in the jaws, and I can grab it right here . And I know it's square this way. Now I can make the 2 faces parallel. there it is. Let's load it up and see what it does. I don't have my rechargeable drill handy, so I'll come back later and put screws in there. Yeah, I like it. I'd like to thank Harold again for this digital caliper. That's really nice. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Be sure and subscribe and ring that bell.